Hey YouTube, it's Kristen. You're watching Chatterbox Budgets. Thank you so much for joining me for a video today. I hope everyone is doing well. It is Monday, March 7th, 2022. It's about 9:30 p.m. here in Salt Lake City, Utah. We are going to go over my monthly spending plan for March. I had to finish up all of my check-ins for February before I felt comfortable sharing this. And just before I start, I haven't looked at it in 2 weeks. So some of the amounts have changed a little bit, but they're close enough. And then also, I'm an hourly employee who's paid bi-weekly. However, I do budget monthly, and I am a month ahead on covering my expenses. So that doesn't mean I've paid the expenses a month in advance. I have the money sitting in the various accounts that I use for paying them on the first of the month, so that my paychecks in March will go towards my expenses for April. So I don't budget by paycheck. I budget, basically it's a month ahead, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, whatever it is, it works. And I do apologize for the coughing. I'm still getting over bronchitis. Or have it again, I don't know. Okay, so for auto insurance, we're gonna plan on $60. I do believe that went up a couple of dollars, but I'm not too worried about it. Cell phone, $68. Electricity, $52. Internet, $100. Natural gas, $31. My electricity and my natural gas are both on equal payment plans. And then water, sewer, and trash is $80. That is what I pay directly to my apartment complex. It's not that much, but it will be eventually. So I just plan. I like to have my budget the same month to month. Yes, things come up once in a while, but I like to have like a basic idea of how much I need minimum. Anyway, annual fee is $70. Subscriptions, $158. Gym and fitness, $17. That's for my gym membership. Home insurance, $8. Rent, $1,226. And then my loan payment, $230. So my total amount needed for my scheduled expenses is $2,100. Now anything that I have on here, because a lot of these are not exact dollar amounts, there's change or whatever, I transfer the remaining balance into a savings account that's attached to my regular checking account. So like for example with my cell phone, they put $68 on my invoice, but I get a $5 credit for something. And so I put that extra $5 into my savings account at the end of the month. Or if I need to use it to cover other expenses that come up, then I do that. Whatever. Anyway, okay. Ooh, sorry, this table is so rickety. I'm planning on replacing it with a different one, but I have to rearrange my home office before I can do that. So, okay. So gas and fuel. These are my unscheduled expenses. These are things that have to be paid. Like I have to buy toilet paper. It's one of those things. Especially now that I work from home. Anyway, I just don't know exactly when or how much I'm going to be spending. So, gas and fuel is $60. Groceries, food is $300. That I probably should have increased it to like $400, but I didn't. So we're going to be over budget probably. But this will be the last month we have to worry about that because I have given up DoorDash forever. Oh, excuse me. It's a long story, but basically they made me up. They made me, well, I was not happy with their service, let's put it that way. So household is $60. That's for toilet paper, paper towels, dish soap, things like that, things you use around the house. Miscellaneous is $20. And then personal stuff is $60. Personal stuff is anything you use on your person. Toothpaste, deodorant, body wash, yeah. Pet stuff, $200. That's for anything my pets need besides vet care and things like that. So that's their food, their treats, any of their waste management supplies. What else? That was pretty much it, I think, isn't it? Oh, tennis balls for Zeus. Okay, so the total amount for my unscheduled expenses is $700. So I take, oh, and then the whole total, grand total is $2,800. I take $350 each paycheck, so I get paid bi-weekly, so it's usually twice a month, except in July and December it'll be 3 times. But I take half, so I take $350 and transfer it to my Venmo Cash App. And then I take $1,050 from my paycheck and put that towards in my regular checking account for my scheduled expenses. And then I have a separate checking account. I have my main checking account that I use for all of the different various funds, the transfers and stuff. That's where all the money goes through. It's like the train station. I don't know what a good analogy is. So the other thing is I am doing the 52-week challenge, savings challenge, although I don't like the word savings or challenge. No, I don't like the word challenge. So instead of doing a 52-week savings challenge, because I don't budget weekly, I have taken the amounts that I would have put in weekly and added them together for the month. And then I just transfer the first of the month. So $46 is how much I will be transferring for the month of March. So yeah. Anyway, and that'll probably just come out of, I don't know. I think it's just coming out. It'll just come out of wherever. I don't even know. Probably, actually, it'll probably come over. It'll come out of last month's leftovers. So, okay. So I think that's everything. I do have, oh, did I write down irregular expenses? Nope. So the monthly plan, the scheduled expenses and unscheduled expenses are planned expenses. That's why it's called monthly plan. And then the irregular expenses are not really planned. I mean, they kind of are, but I have things like, I know I have a hair appointment this month. Oh, they're there. I'm changing this form though. And then, I'm definitely spending money on shopping in my shopping category because I always do. Yeah. So really quickly, just in case you haven't heard or watched any of my other videos, I always say heard. I listen to most YouTube videos. I don't watch most of them because I'm usually listening while I'm walking my dog or working or whatever. So, I don't follow, well, how can I put this? It's a money management plan for me. So I am finding ways to manage my money, but also still be able to spend money on the things I want to spend it on. I have paid off my credit cards. I do use them. I have 4 different cards. I'll have 4 different purposes. Like I use my Venmo credit card specifically for my unscheduled expenses. And then I have my, what else do I have? My Capital One credit card, which is for my irregular expenses, my freedom funds. And then I've got a Amazon Prime Chase credit card, and then a Discover card. And those two are, like, the Discover card I've had was my first card. The Chase one's my newest one, and so I'm still trying to figure out what to use those for. Anyway, my goal is to build my credit, rebuild my credit, because it's been damaged a few times. So that's one of my focuses. The other focus is our priority is to have the funds available on the 1st of each month for my bills or expenses for that month. And by expenses, I mean food, everything. Anything I need to pay for that I have to pay for, I want it to be available. And then my other purpose or goal or whatever is to use my credit cards wisely and pay them off every week or every 2 weeks. So I don't have to worry about when my credit card payments are due or what a minimum payment is because I pay them off every time. So for example, excuse me, last week I used my Discover card to purchase a Samsung Galaxy Tab 8 and some other stuff. And so I had a high charge, a high dollar amount on my credit card, and then I just paid it off. I actually paid it off today. I was going to pay it off Saturday or Sunday, but then I wasn't feeling good, so I just did it today. So I pay my credit cards off weekly, bi-weekly, whatever. And then, yeah, those are the things I'm focused on. I'm not worrying about investing right now. I'm not worrying about savings right now. I do have both things happening, but I'm not like focused on it. The debts that I have, or the loans, well, they are debts. I have 2 loans. One's a personal loan through a company, and then one's a 401k loan. And those are both being paid regularly, but I'm not focused on them because I'm comfortable with having them there. And yeah, they're costing me money, but like the 401k loan, it's a 4% APR. And so I'm not worried about it. I just need to be able to figure out, because this is the first year because I started doing all this. I've been budgeting forever, but I started following this plan well, I paid off my credit cards in August. Paid off my loan in September, and then did a refinance on my loan in September. So I've only been a month ahead on my expenses since December. I was a paycheck ahead before that, but I've been a month ahead since December. So I'm trying to get that down. And then I'm going to try to work on lowering my expenses as much as I can. I'm not getting rid of anything because everything I have, I've already thought through it. Well, okay, Netflix is an exception. I have 4 screens for Netflix. I do share it with but I don't need 4 screens. So I do need to reduce that one. But like I use Hulu. I use Prime. I use, what did I just say? Netflix. Not very often, but I do use Netflix. My son uses it more than I do. And then I do get HBO Max, but I get it for free through Cricket, which is my cell phone company. It's with commercials, but when I was paying for it before, I never used it. And now that I'm not paying for it and I'm watching it a lot, I don't mind the commercials because it's saving me $60 a month. Anyway, what was my point? I guess my point is I'm in a different point in my journey than a lot of people are. I've been a single parent for 25 years. I do count while I was pregnant because I was single that whole time. I moved into my first apartment 20 years ago. No, not 20 years ago, 19 years ago. It was in 2003. I've been at my current job for 9 years. I paid my car off 3 years ago. My son's been out on his own since he turned 18. He's turning 25 this year. So it's been a roller coaster. And as a single parent, because I did not, like, I worked one job so I could be there for my son. My goal was to be as much of a stay-at-home mom as I possibly could while still having to provide for us. So I worked full-time, but then I was there for all of his sports and everything. So anyway, what was my point, Zeus? Yeah, trying to get the hang of being able to actually pay my bills. I've been paying them on time for a couple years. Before that, I wasn't. I would pay Rocky Mountain late, and then I would have to pay Dominion Energy late the next month. So I was always, you know, borrowing from whatever to cover other things. I would go, I'm a recovering compulsive shopper. I still struggle with that sometimes, but it hasn't been as bad. And that's the pandemic actually helped with that, because when you can't go into stores, or you can't go into stores without a mask on, or you're afraid to touch money or whatever, that helped me with all of it, especially because I used to buy stuff and then I would return it because I'd spend $300 on clothes and I'd realize I had to pay my rent. So I'd go take the clothes back. Yeah, I got over that. I started getting over it before that, but 2 years ago, it's been, yeah, very, very good for me that way. Also, working from home has helped a lot too, because since I don't leave my house to go to work, I don't have those urges to stop real quick on the way home to do stuff. The problem the last month and a half has been DoorDash, but I'm cured. So that one's done. I've been using them really a lot, like pretty much every day for like a month and a half. And Saturday, I did not get my order, and I did not get a text message. I did not get a picture of my front door like I normally do. And so I'm pretty sure, I don't know what happened, but I don't think they delivered it at all, because if they delivered it at all, I think they would have sent me a picture of the door, even if it was the wrong door. Because that had happened 3 times before that week, during that week or two, and they sent me a picture, and I told them it was the wrong apartment, and they brought it to the right apartment. Anyway, so I went on to do the thingy, asking for help, saying I didn't get my order, and they showed me an address. Well, it's not the address that I can see when I'm placing the order. It's close, but there's like an extra number in the middle somewhere that I couldn't see when I was placing the order. So they asked me if it was the correct address. I had to say no, because technically it's not. But it's the right, like, area. It's just the apartment number was weird. Anyway, the moral of the story is, when I said that, they ended up only giving me back half my money. And I was livid. I was so upset. Mainly because I wasn't feeling good. And so I wanted the food. But it was also my last day ordering from them. I told myself that after that Saturday, I wasn't going to order from them anymore. So I canceled my Dash Pass. I uninstalled the app from my phone. And the other issue was, I had ordered from Great Value. I keep saying Great Value. Great Harvest the day before. And I ordered a salad. And they ended up mixing 2 salads together. And I didn't realize it until too late. And it had ingredients in there I wasn't expecting. And I had an allergic reaction to them. So I don't blame Great Harvest, because I'm sure things are crazy. But if I had been there in person, I might have had more control over what actually, you know, what happened. But also, I think when they have to do that rush, I'm sure having a person waiting there for an order that is the person you ordered is a little bit is pressure. I mean, well, I know it is. I've done it before. But having DoorDash waiting for you has got to be extra pressure. So anyway, if you're there in person, I can also say, hey, I have food allergies. Can you just make sure that, you know, there's no onions in there or whatever? Yeah. Anyway, the moral of the story is that they helped me. So even though I lost half my money from the order, so I got like $15 lost, they'll actually end up saving me money in the long run, because I'm not using them anymore. So I'm not paying those fees. I'm not paying for that food. So it just means that I'll probably have a lot more cereal and peanut butter on toast for a while, but that's okay. Anyway, okay. That was a lot of rambling. But yeah, I hope that makes sense, you guys. It's such a weird situation for me, and it's so hard to explain to people, but I'm not a month ahead on my expenses because I haven't paid the bills yet. It's just that on the first of the month, the money's there. And I don't know if I said this in this video or a different one, but I make sure, so every payday I transfer half of my scheduled expenses, half of the funds for the scheduled expenses to my regular checking account, which is where it just sits. I don't use that account. I don't use a debit card for that account or anything. And then half of my unscheduled expenses to my Venmo Cash App, so that the funds are there available when the first of the month comes around. And then every Sunday I go through and I look and see what bills are coming up that week, and everything's on auto pay except for my credit card payments and my rent. So I go through and see what's coming up, and I just transfer those funds over from my regular checking to my main checking account, so they're ready to be taken out whenever. And then I track everything. I look at my accounts like every day, every 2 days, whatever. Use my planner to track it, all that stuff. And then my credit cards, I don't have my credit cards on auto payment because I pay them off weekly or bi-weekly. So it doesn't matter when they're due. It doesn't matter how much is due because I'm paying what I spent the next week. So like if I use my card on Saturday and it hasn't cleared by Monday, then I'll pay that the next Saturday. So, and my rule of thumb is I only spend on my credit cards the money that I have the funds, the actual liquid assets for. So either it has to be in cash or it has to be on my Venmo app or in one of my checking accounts. So, and then I transfer, if I do that, I transfer the money from my, whatever account it is that it would come out of, I transfer that to my main checking account and then use that to pay my credit cards off. So anyway, all right, you guys, I hope that's not too, well, whatever. I'm surprised I could actually talk. I've been coughing all day, and so this is the first, in fact, I can feel it. It's a compulsive cough, and it's just, it's right there. All right, well, I'll be back in a couple of days with my weekly check-in for week number 1. Spoiler alert, or a preview. Spoiler alert, we're over on the food. Actually, we're not over on the food. So I give myself the funds at the beginning of the month, so I have my whole food budget available the first of the month. So if I use all $300 the first week, then I just end up going over budget. But anyway, yeah. Okay, I think I'm done talking. It's kind of like trying to end a conversation with somebody where there's nothing left to talk about, but you don't know how to end the conversation. That's how these videos feel sometimes to me. So, all right, you guys. Well, I gotta go take Zeus outside one more time before we go to bed. We wake up at 3:30, so this is a little late for us, but that's how it is. All right, take care of yourselves. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.